Good morning and welcome. Friday morning here in the UK. Maybe another time of the day where you are, or you might be watching somewhere on catch up. So wherever you're joining us from, welcome. Lovely to have you with us. My name is Helen Jennings. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I am based here in the UK and we're going to do some crafting. So good morning, Jackie. And today I think we're going to have a bit of play with the Kangaroo Company Bundle. I have just literally taken these off of their sticky background and put them onto a magnetic mat. So not yet played with them. Stamp set's still immaculate. So we're going to have a little bit of a play together and discover what these little cuties can do. Some really lovely samples actually in the mini catalogue, in the January to June mini catalogue. Don't just think of your catalogues as something that you shop from. Do go and look at the inspiration in there, and if you do happen to see something and you're not sure what they've used, do shout, because I do have a list of sort of little recipe cards of the things that they've used for these samples. So although I don't have step-by-step instructions, we can probably work it out between us. Evening, Megan. So yeah, really beautiful. I love this one here with sort of the leaves and things poking in the background, that bit of DSP hopping by just to say, you don't know what he's saying. It's a surprise, and that's one of the lovely things about the kangaroo, is the surprise messages he can conceal, or she can conceal. Okay, so what have we got? We've got a stamp set. We've got this big kangaroo with a nice big pouch. We've got one little Joey who is sort of complete, if you like, looking adoringly up at Mummy. And then we've got this other top half of a Joey. Looks as if he's peeping over a wall somewhere, but you can see that he would quite easily sit within there. You've got a nice party hat. Hi Jane, you've got a nice little bundle of presents, some hearts, some flowers. You've got a little stamp there for some grass, a little individual heart in this envelope. And then you've got hopping by just to say hi. You've got happy for you, thanks a bunch, it's your day, love you much, hello, just a note, just for you, and hello baby. And you can see that these are all in sort of this long style, and they're like that for a reason, because if we come over to the dies, you can see that there's dies to cut out presents and hearts and flowers and hats and envelopes and kangaroos and baby kangaroos, hearts and butterflies. And then you've got this funny little die just here, and this little die just here works with the fact that if you have a look closely at the kangaroo die, you've got a slit that cuts just there. That means you're able to poke things into that pouch, and you can use this to stamp some of those greetings onto. So all good fun, and we'll have a bit of a play with that and see what happens. So it's a photopolymer stamp set, which means that you are able to see through it and line things up, which is useful, but might mean that we want to have piercing that. So let's grab that. And let's just open up the dies. I've got my little die bowl just here, so hopefully we won't lose any, because some of these are a little bit on the small side. So we're going to start with have a little look at some of the subtle colours of the pastel-y colours palette. to go with that. I'll bring in my trimmer. I'm going to make a So Saffron card base. It's really pretty pale yellow. And let's come in with a pear pizzazz mat. So I'm going to bring that down 1/2 centimetre. So whatever your second size mat is, for us that's a 14.4 by 10, and then some petal pink. This bit of card looks like it's got a bit battered, but we can cut off the battered bits. So if I could just pick it up in a chip shop, doesn't it? Battered bits. So let's cut this down to 9.5 and trim it down to 13.9, and that will take off that slightly bent corner, and we'll pop that in our recycling bin. Got caught watching I don't know if you do this. I was on my way to bed, and then there was this programme on about use of single-use plastics, and I got a little bit sort of carried away watching it, so later night than I anticipated. But it's left me wanting to find out if my tea bags have plastic in them. There was something I didn't know. The amount of plastics in some of the tea bags. You'd think it was just paper, wouldn't you? But apparently not. Right, I'm just going to take this petal pink just here, and I'm going to take this little floral stamp, and I'm going to take the petal pink ink pad. Once I've found it, no, that's Blushing Bride. That's petal pink. And we were talking about tone on tone stamping. So let's just do some. And those flowers nesting quite nicely there together. Just going to do a bit of that on the bottom, and I might bring in another row on the top. Just a hint of something top and bottom. Let's find ourselves what should we have to go with our kangaroo. We're going to go rectangle, we're going to go oval, are we going to go stitched label? Oh, so many decisions. Might go stitched label. We are still very much in lockdown, Megan. I was just reading this morning on some of the Facebook pages that parts of Oz are going back into quite a strict lockdown again. We haven't got out of it. We're looking for an update about the 22nd of February. So as we are at least until then, and I suspect things won't ease all that much even then, but we shall see. But I did see that I don't know how things are where you are, but that parts of Australia were going back into lockdown. doing amazingly well on the amount of people that are being vaccinated. But mine will come in the next wave somewhere along the line. So I think they're hoping to have this next level of oldies vaccinated by the end of April. Right, so we'll have that on there, and then I think we'll come in with a little bit of whisper white. You see, I haven't got out of that habit yet. Basic white. It may not be basic white, actually, it may be whisper white. So for now, until I've completely cleared out and completely moved over, we will just call it white. We'll have a bit of white coming in on there. And we'll do fun things with this one. Right. Let's sit that to one side for a moment. And let's bring in oh dear. I suppose for us, we feel as if we've never entirely come out of it. Certainly I've never got to a stage where I could start up face-to-face classes or any of those sorts of things. It's been very limited as to what we could do all the way through, really. Right, I'm going to take some Memento. Is that bit of white big enough? I think it is, just about. Let's stamp ourselves a kangaroo. We had a sort of Zoom crafty catch-up last night, to which I do these twice a month, and anyone is welcome to join us. So even if you're the other side of the world, if the times work right and you'd like to join us, you're more than welcome. But we were talking about, you know, as bad as it is, how lucky we are that we have our craft rooms, our hobby, the things that we enjoy doing to keep us occupied. We can while away our hours stamping kangaroos. Now, what colour kangaroo shall we go for? Could make him sort of crumb cakey. Going to bring in the ivory. Let's have a bit of petal pink. Let's see how we go. Let's colour in our kangaroo with some stamping blends. Let's come around these sort of edges with some dark crumb cake. Nice big curly tail. Oh, Aussie Roo. He is indeed an Aussie Roo. I'll actually use some petal pink on his nose there. Might give a bit of petal pink on cheeks. And let's come in with some bit of light crumb cake and just blend that out. Squeaky, squeaky. I'm sorry people, I'm having internet issues at the moment, which is not fun, so I've switched over to my mobile data, which will hopefully keep us going. Not sure what's going on, that the internet keeps cutting out, but it is a bit of a pain. But we are back. I've got the ivory here, so you get 3 colours of stamping blends that sort of stand on their own. There's a brown colour, copper, I think that one is, bronze, wrong metal. I thought copper felt a bit reddy. We've got a bronze one, we've got this ivory one, which is quite good for skin tones, sort of does dry quite a bit lighter than it shows up on there. And then there's the colour lifter. So there we have our little kangaroo all coloured in. Let's cut him out. Yes, so we have our very cute little kangaroo, and then in there, if you can see, you've got a little slit that you can put things in. You can have our kangaroo on there. Might need to add a bit of colour behind him. I'm going to just take seaside spray, I think. And just the brush end. And just add in a bit of background colour for him. And let's let's take some pear pizzazz, as that's the colour we've used. Another of my stamp sets with leaves, with lids that are falling off. And let's take this tiny little grass stamp. And let's stamp in some grass. It's so cute, isn't it? We'll stamp in some grass for him, her, them to stand on. There we go. Right, so what to put in the kangaroo's pouch? I'm trying to get that lid on back to front. Let's just lay it there and we'll fight with it later. So I'm going to come back to these flowers and another bit of white card. Come back to our Memento ink. And we've got the petal pink out. So let's have some in petal pink because we'll have the sort of rosy flowers in petal pink. And that one looks like a little rosebud just there. Let's have some So Saffron because we've used that colour in our cardstock as well. I need little centres, so let's grab the pale dark Calypso, I think. Light Calypso, and we'll just give those some flower centres. Now we don't have a pear pizzazz blender pen. Very carefully because I have used Memento and it will blend if I'm not very careful. I'm going to add in some So Saffron ink. Not So Saffron, Pear Pizzazz ink in the background there for leaves. Pretty, pretty. So very pastel-y sort of colours. So let's find our die, that one just there, to cut out that label, and then we're going to cut this out of the middle of that label. So we've cut that out of the middle of that. We'll now cut this out of the middle of that label. We're being frugal with our card this morning, but why not? It's all going to be layered up. You're not going to know it's there. The hole's there, so we might as well use it. So my spring colours here. There's our little flowers. And there's our little strip. Need that bit. We'll put that bit to one side for a minute. Now, let's have a little look at our greetings. Thanks a bunch. Just a note, just for you. Love you much. It's your day. Hello. This would make quite a nice little sort of get well card. So I'm going to use the just a note. Pick that up. These are the sorts of dies you need to carefully put back as soon as you've used them so they don't go missing, so the borrowers don't get them. Just a note just there, because we're going to want to stick the flowers across the top there. I'm thinking possibly ease that off and just ease it up a little bit better. Just a note. So let's now pop that inside the koala's pouch. She now looks like she's holding that big bouquet of flowers, and when you put it up, you get just a note. Oh no, Angie. It's very cute. Page 17 of the mini catalogue this is. Pretty, pretty. Just looking, going to take some of the spotty tooly ribbon, I think. So obviously you could have kangaroo with a happy birthday hat on. You could have baby kangaroos also with happy birthday hats on. Little Joeys. So are baby girl kangaroos Joeys? Are they still Joeys? Is there a female version? That random thought just came to me just now. And I might have people here that could answer that question. Just move that Pear Pizzazz ink out of the way so I don't put my elbow in it. Yep, all Joeys. I didn't think I'd heard of a female version. The girly kangaroos of the world haven't revolted then and set up a campaign. Perhaps they should. I think possibly the single-use plastics and plastic in our tea bags is probably more of a pressing environmental issue. But it is when I drink so much tea. Right, we'll put some dimensionals on the back of here and raise this up a little bit. Yes, this program that I was watching yesterday, they took six of the most popular brands of tea bags, and it was at a university of East Anglia, I think, and they put them into some sort of acid that would dissolve the paper, and left it there for about 5 hours. And when they went back for 3 of the tea bags, the tea bag had completely dissolved, but for the other 3 they were left with like this plastic casing, and they were somebody was sort of saying about if they put the tea bags in their recycling bin, that they get left with this plasticky residue after the paper has all dissolved away. And that's what it is. Although I think following this campaign, lots of tea companies were going to try and be plastic free. So let's hope that that is now the case, because it was a rerun of a program that was shot pre-pandemic, or as the pandemic was hitting, and they were talking about sandwich packaging. And yeah, that's perhaps the answer, Megan. Yeah, to go back to leaf tea, or just to check And that's what I did. There I was at midnight last night, trying to find out on my packaging whether there was any mention of it being plastic free. But yeah, don't quite know how I find out. I'll perhaps have to message Tesco's and ask them. It's your tea. It's a supermarket own brand that I've got. Okay, let's sit our little. Now actually, under that tail there, because we've already raised the label up, we're going to need a double length height of dimensional under there so that sits right. Isn't that cute? So we've got our little soft stamping at the top and the bottom with those flowers. Oh, I've stuck it on with something. That's not good. We need it to pop out. What have you stuck on? Aha. Badly placed dimensional. Let's just ease that off for a minute and move that dimensional down. Sorry, Mr. Kangaroo, that's better. Mind where you put your dimensionals. Do as I say, not as I do. That's it. So very cute. Just a note. So we could have added a just hopping by in there, but I quite like that just as it is. Whether you should, I don't know whether you'd want a loop or something. You almost need something to indicate that you can pop out your bouquet. But then inside we could put get well soon or thinking of you or any of those sorts of things. So yes, so there's one little kangaroo. So sort of a get well soon kangaroo. The other thing that I think this set is perfect for is new baby cards. So let's dig about and find somewhere. I have dug out a stencil I have created. So this is just some sort of thickish plastic, a bit of really thick acetate type stuff that I've die cut a window from, and I'm going to use that as a bit of a stencil. Let's find ourselves a bit of white card. So this is a 13.9 by 9.5 piece of Whisper White card. Just trying to find the end of my washi tape, because I'm going to use some washi tape to anchor down this bit of card so it doesn't wiggle about too much. And then we'll zip that on the top there. It's a circle, so it doesn't matter particularly if it's not lined up straight, because a circle is a circle is a circle. Got some blending brushes here. Shall we have, we're going to go for a blue baby or a pink baby. Let's go pool party. I've got a blending brush. And to tap it on there and pick some ink up, double the excess off on that, on the lid. And let's build up the colour in the middle of our circle. Don't move. So you could use a bit of window sheet for this, or a bit of, use some of that single-use plastic packaging to a good use. Right. I think that is about right. So we've now got that little blue circle in the middle of our white card. Ooh, that's caught, the little devil. Let's have another kangaroo. This time we'll take a bit of Sahara sand card. And some crumb cake ink. I think it's going to fit on that way actually. So excuse me, Mr. Kangaroo, your nose down, or Mrs. Kangaroo. We'll soon put you right. Might actually take, got some watercolour pencils here. Let's touch of pink on their nose and ears. Come in with white watercolour pencil to lighten that bit. Watercolour pencils are great for this, adding in extra shading, taking extra away, whatever. Let's cut him out. Or her out, keep saying him. I think if we were about to make her a mummy, give her a Joey in a pouch, we ought to at least refer to her as her, hadn't we? So let's come on in now with the sort of top half of the Joey, and again we're going to need our little die cut bit there. You could carry on using this. No, we don't want white really, do we? Let's perhaps come crumb cake, just slightly darker. And we'll go to soft suede for stamping. So again, slightly darker. Oh, sorry, mummy kangaroo. Let's have some ears going on. Very lightly add in some cheeks. And let's die cut that one. And while we're at it, we'll run that through as well. Ooh. Right, let's pop that there. I think we'll have Love You Much on here. Oh, that's not dark enough, is it? Let's let's just run another of those through. Because I thought I was using the soft suede, and I wasn't. I was using crumb cake. So let's try soft suede. Very cute. Hi Emma. Yeah, extremely cute kangaroos and joeys. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's very reminiscent of Kangaroo, isn't it? Very Winnie the Pooh. That's better. Love You Much. We've got a Hello Baby stamp here. A little heart and a little butterfly. I think we might bring all of those into play. I'm going to stick with my soft suede and stamp Hello Baby in our circle. And let's take this little heart. I think we'll use the pool party if I put that back. No. Here you are. And we'll add in some pool party hearts. And to stamp this butterfly with pool party, but we'll add a little bit more colour in there with some of our watercolour pencils. Let me just cut him out. And of course, Jackie, you've got family and grandchildren and things over in Oz that are really going to appreciate this, aren't they? So again, let's just, we could perhaps do with trimming a little bit really. And that will slip in there. Let's add a bit of colour to our butterfly here. Keeping everything fairly sort of soft and pastel-y. And let's find some pool party and some. Now we're going to go crumb cake or Sahara sand. That way, I think. I think that's lit. Well, I've only seen it this morning, Jackie, so it's whether that's something that's sort of been announced during the course of the day. The ladies will no doubt be able to tell you better than me. I just saw Angie's post that she wasn't going to be able to go ahead with her class. Let's have a bit of 14.5 4 by 10 swirl of sand on there. I'm going to take this greenery embossing folder, and I'm just going to catch the top and bottom of this card. I just want it to have a bit of something. Sorry, fiddling about trying to get the sandwiches right for this. We've just got a standard embossing folder here. So that's take out plate number 2. And have plate number 1 and 2 of plate number 3. Keep knocking my card. That's it. Then let me turn it round and do the same on the top. I will show you what I've done in one moment. I'm going to knock. I've embossed the bottom just here. I want to do the same on the top, but I don't want to squash that embossing, so I'm going to drop this top plate back so that it's not putting pressure on the embossing we've already done. And hopefully it's quite pretty, isn't it? I wanted a bit of something on there, but not too much. So embossing is the thing. Beautiful. And I think what I will do is I will take some of this twine and I'm going to wrap it round this bottom bit where this line of embossing comes. We'll try a bit of a bow just there. That was I'll be with you in 1 second. It's one of the twin packs, Twin Peaks. It was the greenery number 2, so you get 2 in that one, and it is with the Forever Greenery Suite in the annual catalogue. So you get the one that gives you a bit top and bottom, and this one which gives you sort of all these leafy images, and I've just used it that way round to just get that top and the bottom. Really useful little pair of embossing folders. They are just standard size. They fit your mini machine. They're standard thickness embossing folders, so they're not 3D ones. And they just add that little bit of detail that is. These aren't my ribbon scissors. These have been used in the cutting of paper. Right, let's put this together. So we'll stick this one as a holosand mat directly onto our pool party card base. I think we'll stick this down flat as well. Though it's only a standard embossing folder, it does give you quite a good deep embossed image. I think they're hoping that possibly in the new annual catalogue we might see some mini 3D embossing folders. Certainly was the plan to try and get some of those into the mix as well. Right, let's stick a little roux on and make sure this time we don't put any dimensionals where it's going to stick down the slidey tab. Now, where's our little butterfly? I'm not sure about my little butterfly. I like my little butterfly, I just don't know that it works on there. Going to bring in some frosted and clear epoxy drops. I think I'm going to go with frosted ones. Just add in. Come out, little butterfly, we'll use you elsewhere. Let's have a few little epoxy drops on there instead. That's better. I don't think we want to add in any more colour. I think just keeping those pastel-y colours works quite nicely. I'll trim off my twine now because I've just spotted my ribbon scissors. That's much better. So there we have our sort of sponged background circle, some embossed detail top and bottom, and our little baby. Hello baby, love you much. If you've got any little babies, and obviously you could have done all that and used pink in the background, pink in your circle, and make one for a little girl. And there's our sort of thinking of you type card, just a note that you could add in, get well or whatever. Aren't they they are adorable, aren't they? These little kangaroo and all their little magic things that you can pop in their pouches. They just really are adorable. So thank you for coming and playing and taking part in my musings on tea bags. Stay safe, everybody. Stay well. We're still not quite out of the woods yet, but there's still lots to be done in the craft room, and we can make gorgeous cards to send out to people to let them know that we're thinking of them. So keep on keeping on, and do come and join me tomorrow. Tomorrow it's afternoon, evening here, for the Creative Abounds Day of Inspiration. So if you're able to come and join us for that, do come and join us. And otherwise, we'll be back and see you on Monday.